This is Grit City Punk.
Welcome back to Grit City Punk. I'm your host, Jeremy, and we have a great episode for you today. I'm going to talk about the new Membrane LP and some other recent releases. I'll look back on some concerts from 2024, and I sat down with Ben Babcock from the band Hot Stepmom. But we'll get to all that in a minute. First of all, I'd like to thank everybody that tuned in to episode 1. Everyone that shared on social media or interacted with me about the show, whether in person or online. This is a passion project for me, and it's really cool that other people are enjoying it too. So a quick recap here. Since the last episode came out, Christmas happened. A new year happened. Somehow, we are living in the year 2025. Wild. My wife and I spent New Year's Eve with my good friend Eric and his wife. It was seriously the first time in like 15 years I left the house on New Year's Eve. I also went to a concert on the Friday after Christmas. That was a lot of fun. Probably the best concert experience I've had in quite a while. But enough with the preamble ramble. Let's get to the goods. Bellingham hardcore band Membrane released their first full-length album, self-titled Membrane, on January 1st. First on Bandcamp, I assume it's coming on streaming platforms soon. This album is a little bit of a departure from their earlier efforts. Same vocals, same harsh vocals, same content. The guitars, so different though. Really threw me for a loop. The intro, thought I was listening to L7 for a minute. From the album Hungry for Stink. Really flangery, wavy kind of clean guitar. Lots of interesting guitar work on this album. Lots of kind of Slayer, thrash metal solos. Arpeggiated clean guitars with effects on them. We've got some sick breakdowns. Just really anthemic, kick-ass songs. This album has some groove to it too, which is... didn't see as much of that on their earlier stuff. The bass is fat and chunky, really overdriven. All in all, this album is really good. I cannot wait for it to hit streaming platforms for all the world to hear. But honestly, go check it out on Bandcamp. Buy it. It's like $6 on Bandcamp. Support the homies. They have just some really interesting sounds here. Self-described crust punk. I kind of suck at subgenres. I kind of hear this as more of a metally hardcore violence. I don't know. I suck at subgenres. This is a great album, and I'm going to play a song from the album. This is called In Lieu of Flowers. That was In Lieu of Flowers from the band Membrane off of their self-titled LP. Came out January 1st on Bandcamp. Should be out everywhere else soon, if not already. Go check it out. Thanks, Ellie, for giving me the advanced listening of the album. Sorry it took my review so long to get out. But hey, these things happen. In other releases, we had Shapeshifter, whom I saw at the South Sound Music Fest at Real Art last month. Shapeshifter is a woman named Maddie, who I assume she does everything, all the music, all the writing, performing, what have you. It's more of a EDM kind of dance pop kind of thing, but definitely check it out. She's got a killer voice. She put out 2 singles in December. One is called The World is Ending. The other song is called AI. This is the song The World is Ending by Shapeshifter. All right, that was The World is Ending from Shapeshifter. You can check out those 2 songs. They're streaming everywhere. She also has some earlier stuff. For some reason on Spotify, it's under Shapeshifter, but on Apple, it's under Kill Maddie. Not sure what's going on there. Maybe should look into it. Also, new band called Raccoon Taxonomy put out a demo on Bandcamp, and it's on streaming now too. It's just simply called Demo. It came out on December 31st. They're self-described as punk and emo. It sounds very Fat Wreck to me. Very 90s, very Lagwagon, no use for a name. Definitely in that line. Very simple, very rough. I like it. This is a song called Quiet.
Keep it down. Let my hear you. Keep it down. Let my hear you. I don't wanna live that way. I don't wanna live that way tonight. I don't wanna live that way. I don't wanna live that way tonight. not a second guess. And if I were at risk, you'd kill me slow and give me everything you had and make it seem you're really sad. And kiss me, make it better till you do it all over again. And rape me, take me, kill me, ruin me until I hate myself. Hurt me all around and tell me that you're better now. I don't wanna live that way. I don't wanna live that way tonight. I don't wanna live that way. I don't wanna live that way tonight. Why'd you change up? Why are you so mean and shit? Why'd we make up? We should end it clean and shit. Why'd you change up? Why are you so mean and shit?
All right, that was Quiet off of Raccoon Taxonomy's debut demo. You could find that on Bandcamp or streaming anywhere. Keep an eye out for them. I think they're going to be putting out some really sick stuff in the near future. Also, shout out Courtney Rainbow for the recommendation on that. Okay, so tell me your name and what you do.
Hi, I'm Ben Babcock, and I play drums for the band Hot Stepmom.
What is your motivation? Why do you do this? Why are you playing music and why are you in a band?
Where do I start? I mean, I've always had a deep love for music. I mean, ever since I was little, I was always drumming on, pots and pans and tapping my fingers and stuff. But it's just, it's natural to me, like not performing. It's like, I don't know what I'd do without it. It's kind of like therapy almost. I love it. And then my motivation would probably be just trying to always be like a better version of myself, just always like striving to be better, just never stop practicing. And you can never be, you know, like practice makes better, not perfect, you can always be better.
Of course. So what does punk mean to you? It could be in terms of music, a state of mind, community, whatever. What does it mean to you?
To me, punk is anti-hate. That's what I would say. I mean, I feel like it's always been about accepting others and, allowing others to be different and, allow others to express themselves. And that's definitely like the biggest takeaway from punk to me. And just like the scene and the music in general, it's just like, it's a genre for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a beautiful answer, man. So what can you tell me about a favorite experience playing with Hot Stepmom?
Oh, I have so many favorites. um, just whenever we get, like those shows where everyone shows up, like all our friends and family, all these new people. It's such a fun experience, and it makes us like perform better because it's like it's just family and friends, and it's just having an awesome time. And Like, I would say one of my favorite shows we've ever done is our EP release party at
Hmm.
McMiniman's. That was definitely one of my favorites. It was just like such a loving environment, and all the bands we played with were all like friends, like sister bands. It was a really nice show. I loved that show a lot.
That was a great show. That was probably my favorite time seeing you, like performance wise.
That's probably my favorite time performing.
Yeah. Just something about the room itself, the vibe of the room, the acoustics of the room. And tell me about your set list for that night, because I thought that there was something special. I've seen you guys, I don't know how many times, maybe 8 times. And that set list was special.
So that night was our first time ever playing Cocoon live, which was, that song is my baby. I mean, I love that song more than anything. And just finally be able to play that. Oh my gosh, it was so satisfying. Like seriously, like almost tears in my eyes during that end build up leading into the
Uh,
bass solo. Oh my gosh, it was so awesome.
I kind of have a bone to pick with you about that, though. It's your EP release party, and you play what, two, three songs that were new that weren't even on the EP.
Yeah. I mean,
Man,
also Ballroom Dancing with Mercedes, I'm pretty sure that was our first time performing that as well.
yeah, yep.
Yeah, that was a really fun night. And then we opened with Morning After,
Hmm.
and that was my first time where I implemented like the drum solo leading into Morning After. And that was my first time doing it. I never choreographed it, and it sounded so good, and now I'm not able to recreate it. Every single time I try relearning it, I can't learn it. And then Take Me With You that night was really fun. That was, we haven't played that song in a long time, but that
That's the
was a
only time I've
really,
seen it.
it was a really, like, it was the perfect night for Take Me With You. It was
Yeah, it
really good.
was. It was. What was that about the 2/3 of the way through the set?
We
And
tend to have it later on in the set.
yeah, there was a really good flow of the set. Like the first half or so was just kind of up tempo, your
hmm
standard HSM fare. Everything's just flowing. Then, but there was an acoustic song. What song was that?
That was The Crow. So
Okay,
that is still a work in progress,
okay.
and I mean, it's right now. It's Anna and Cameron,
Hmm.
and then Jaren is trying to implement stuff right now. And I honestly don't think I can add anything to that song. I mean, on drums specifically, but I mean, I would totally be fine with doing, like some synthesizer stuff. I would love to do
Put a
that,
keyboard next to your drum set.
dude. I
Yeah,
want to. I really want
get
to,
all
dude.
proggy with it.
I would love to. That'd be awesome. But yeah, that song is still very much a work in progress. I mean, Ballroom Dancing with Mercedes is still a work in progress. I mean,
It's
we're
a little
still.
different each time I've noticed.
I know. Yeah, I don't think we've like played it the same every single time we've played it. Yeah. And so we're implementing kind of like a samba groove in that song.
Oh,
Yeah,
sweet.
it's fun. I think you'll like it,
I think I will. That's also one of my favorites to see. Just the way you guys just lock into that groove is just it's incredible.
dude. That song is grooving. I love that song, man.
Okay, so tell me about a concert experience from another local band that you've seen. Something that
Ooh.
stands out, a moment or a concert from a local band that just really sticks out to you.
Oh, I mean, my favorite local band was Sevelin. I don't know if you ever heard of them,
The name kind
but
of sounds familiar.
um, so when I originally saw them, I'm pretty sure it was like my second Hot Stepmom show or first, maybe. No, I think it was in February of 2022, so it must have been my second. But so it was a three piece. It was Princess Ginto, Dan Hope. Okay, Princess on vocals and bass, Dan Hope on drums, and Dragon Delau on guitar. And it was awesome. So it was at Real Art, and we were in the Thunderdome, and we heard the intro to Barracuda by Heart.
Awesome.
And I was like with Jaren, and I was like, cover band. I was like, a cover band, what? And then she rips those vocals, man. And I was just like, cover band. Like, I was like, wow. And then and over the years, they like new members and just completely different genre change. So it went from like more like rock and roll to like metalcore and like it was heavy. And it seriously one of my favorite bands I've ever seen because it's just like it gives you like the stank face. Like, oh, they were so good. But Princess is now at Berkeley in Boston. So
Okay.
Sevelin's still over there, just different bands. But every now and then when she comes back, they do a little show together, and I always go. I always try to go whenever she's in town. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
probably
if they
my
ever
favorite.
play again, let me know. I'll try to make it. That
Yes,
sounds
you
rad.
would love it.
If they're playing Heart, I would definitely love it.
Hmm.
Were you or are you a music student?
I am a music student.
In what ways is that similar or different from playing in a rock band?
Oh, well, definitely being in school for music, it's more classical music oriented. So there's no, blast beats, there's no, distortion on guitars. Like it's more based off of theory and stuff like that. But
Hmm.
there are, I mean, my percussion instructor, Scott Farkas, amazing. I love him. And so his first year teaching at my school, I told him I wanted to work on my shuffles. So he was like, "Oh, you ever heard of Rosanna by Toto?" And so I spent the whole entire quarter just learning that song. And eventually, we went to the studio and recorded a cover of it. And it was really fun because I was like, "Wow, this is definitely a change of pace from just like theory and 4-part writing and stuff like that." So it was really awesome. But yeah, it's definitely a different environment, I would say. I think that people in school for music, I don't want to sound mean, but they're a lot more like snotty and a lot, and they have egos, but
Hmm.
like compared to like being in a green room at a show, everyone loves each other. It's like everyone's best friends, even if you've never met before. It's still like, oh hey dude, how's it going, like that type of stuff.
Right.
So yeah, it's definitely being in a rock band is a more welcoming environment, I would say. Yeah,
So you also play guitar
I do.
and bass
I do.
and keyboards.
I do.
Does that inform or affect the way that you play drums?
I would say it's the other way around. I would say originally being a drummer, learning guitar and bass and piano, it's definitely I'm still in the drummer's mindset. So I'm whenever I make something, I'm envisioning a drum beat going along with it, or imagining how this would implement with the meter and the time signatures and stuff like that. But I would definitely say, I mean, I don't consider myself a guitarist because I just don't think I'm at that level to consider myself a guitarist. I'll always consider myself just a drummer. Being a drummer, not having notes or stuff like that. I mean, I definitely think I am as good as I am now is because I've been in these environments with bassists and guitarists and just watching them play, and like when we're learning a song or making a song and just watching what they're doing and like talking about, oh, it goes to the fifth, oh, and then there's a major seventh and stuff like that. So it's just like, oh, so, and like going, like looking back now, it's just like, oh, so that's what they meant with that type of stuff. And, you
Hmm.
know, but I mean, it definitely opens up the creative process a lot more if you like are familiar with all these different instruments, because like right now, what I've been doing is mainly drum set, but I also like practice vibraphone stuff. And so when I'm working on vibraphone, I'm like, oh, this would be cool chords for a song on guitar. And so I'm always thinking of how something I'm doing can implement other instruments.
Have you or do you contribute guitar or keyboard ideas to Hot Stepmom?
I do. Um, so Cocoon, I wrote the guitar part years ago, and then I showed Anna, and we worked on that song I went to her house and we worked on it all day. And then we ended up with the finished product when we showed it to the band that following rehearsal.
Mm-hmm.
And then Drive Safe, I also wrote the riff for that because I was trying to learn my arpeggios and I accidentally stumbled upon the riff.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, oh, that sounds cool. And so I sent it to Anna and she said, oh, that sounds cool. So she came over and we worked on the song. Four Words. So Four Words was the first song I ever introduced to the band. So I am a big new wave guy. I love like Duran Duran, Depeche Mode, Oingo Boingo, like all those. And so do you know the song "Kids in America" by Kim Wilde?
Yes.
So I love that intro, the dun 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 dun
Mm-hmm.
dun. So I was like, oh, I wanna do something like that but on a guitar. So that intro, the dun dun dun
I
dun
can hear
dun
it
dun.
now. Yeah.
Mhm. And that intro, it's definitely very inspired by Kids in America. And so it was really cool because that was my first time ever in a band where I've shown someone else guitar parts. It's always been drums. So
Mm-hmm.
that was a cool experience. And Four Words is definitely, it'll always be one of my favorites because of that moment. Um, I'm trying to think of what other songs I've done anything with. I don't think so, but with Cocoon, there is so Colin Weaver, our producer for Cocoon, he does a lot of like synthesizer stuff like that. And so I asked him like, "Hey, it'd be cool if you could implement some like synth into Cocoon." And he was just like, "Oh, I would love to." So we were talking about it, and I was just like, "What about like little glockenspiel, chimes into the song?" Because during the second verse, when Anna's singing, there's little chimes that goes da
Mm-hmm.
da da, and so yeah, that's I mean I wish I could know how to use a synthesizer so I could do that, but I mean yeah, it was a pretty cool experience because it just made me want to like learn that type of equipment more.
That brings up a good point. Cocoon. Honestly, it's one of my favorite songs of you guys' too, and just the different dramatic builds, the dynamics shift. There's quiet moments, they build back up, um, and that's evolved as many times as I've seen it perform live. It's a little bit different. It's evolved. The finished product, the recorded product, I was not ready for that. That was so different. I saw that you were working with Colin, and I saw that he was doing some little keyboard twinklings here and there, and I was like, okay, this is interesting. I wonder what's going to happen. Wow, a very creative choice, I will say, to head that direction with so many synths and so many production tricks. Obviously, that was a deliberate plan. Is that kind of like dipping your toes into a direction maybe you guys are going, or is that just a one and done kind of experiment?
It's definitely a like putting our feet in the water type situation. Like we are definitely, I mean, comparing ourselves to the first album, we are like musically growing like at a crazy rate, I would say. I mean, like Jaron wants to get a keyboard and he wants to do keyboard stuff, and then like we want to do like effects on the drums, and it's definitely, I mean, we're so with Colin, definitely having him there made us more like eager to try that stuff because he is a man of many ideas and I love him for that. Like with the synths and all these guitar effects that sound like synths and
Mm-hmm.
everything. It's definitely something that we're striving to do more. Especially with, so right now we're working on an album and it's gonna try and be recorded with Colin next year. So yeah, we're definitely striving for that sound. But I mean, I still wouldn't label us with a specific sound because I mean, a lot of the stuff we're writing right now that hasn't been performed yet. It's definitely all sounding. It all has its own like vibe and own nuance. I would say.
How would that relate to playing live? For example, if you wrote a song in the studio with a bunch of effects and keyboards, overdubs, is there a separation between can we still pull this off live, or just make our best approximation, or just does it even matter? The studio and the stage are two separate things.
I mean, for us, it's not a real big deal if it doesn't sound exactly like the studio recording. Like, obviously, with Cocoon, we don't have synthesizers on stage with us. It's all just bass, drum, guitar, and vocals. But I mean, Cameron definitely implements some of the synth parts into his guitar playing, especially with the chime parts and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. And there's been some occasions where he's even used a talk box with it. So, I mean, it's definitely something that like we would like to do. It's just not something that we have the money to do. I
All
mean,
right,
we're college students, so yeah, we're using what we can right now.
right. So, what band or song or any experience? We kind of touched on this, but what is the root? What band or song made you decide that music was going to be your path? Was there a specific moment?
I'd say the bands that definitely made me want to perform and be in a band was Royal Blood. I would say like that's definitely the biggest influence. Like watching them perform makes me want to perform because they just make it look so fun and gosh, like I remember the first time I ever heard Royal Blood, it was through a video game. It was in a video game soundtrack. And I was like, oh, this is fire. But yeah, Royal Blood's definitely a big one. But I mean, I feel like what started music, I mean, the earliest band I can think of would probably be Rush. I mean, my dad would play Xanadu for me,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like being baptized in music. Like it was a religious experience when Neil Peart has the wood blocks and
Mm-hmm.
then there's the wind chimes. Yeah, it's definitely Xanadu Rush is one of the big ones. I mean, Rush. I mean, don't even get me started on Rush, man. Don't even get me started.
Uh-huh. I got you. So, tell me about some other local bands that you think people should check out, maybe that are not well known or just getting started, or maybe they're just some of the ones that are always on the circuit. Who do you think the listeners of this fine podcast should check out?
Oh well, I mean, definitely our sister band, Stargazy Pie, 100%. Love them.
Hmm.
The Astrotex is a good one. I'm a good friend of Dragon. Who else? Oh man, you put me on the spot.
Yeah,
Oof.
I didn't get to watch Astrotex. I was there, but backstage, so I didn't see. They
Oh,
sounded
they're
good.
great. That's like it's like pure rock and roll.
Hmm.
Kapala is a big one.
Yeah,
True, of course. I mean, I've been friends with their drummer Evan for years, and it's so nice being in like this band that's like so close to us, you know. Because
yeah.
I mean, like whenever we're with each other, it feels like family almost. So it's really cool. Um, man, you put me on the spot.
That's my job.
Meldrop is another. Meldrop is a really good band.
So, what's next for Hot Stepmom? You mentioned you're working on an album. You're writing for it right now, set to record it next year. What else? What
Mhm.
else is in the works? What is the goal for the next, say, calendar year?
That is the main goal, is just getting an album done and writing it. And then after that, it's definitely we really want to set up a West Coast tour, 100%. Like start in maybe Seattle, go down to Tacoma, Olympia, then go down to Portland,
Mhm.
and then just make our way down to LA. And so
Hell
that
yeah.
that would be fun. That's been on our minds for a while. But yeah, right now, definitely the main focus is just new music. Because I mean, the EP came out this year, but it still feels like forever since we released it.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, especially right now, we have a pretty big gap between our shows, so we're definitely using that time to work on new music. And I mean, we're pumping out songs pretty quickly, so I'm very excited. So, and I think you'll love these new songs coming up.
I'm excited. I am. Do you personally have any other projects that you're working on outside of Hot Stepmom?
Um, I mean, I'm always making music. Um, I mean, Evan from True and I, we've been in a band since 2021. It's called Lefty, and Anna from Hot Stepmom uh, is the singer. But I mean, she's pretty occupied with Hot Stepmom, so it's more of just like a thing for fun now.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I'm always making music and stuff like that. So, but I don't have any other projects. It's just me jamming out and with friends and stuff. So yeah.
Cool. Anybody you want to shout out? Any links? Any shout outs? Hi, mom. Anything like that?
Just shout out to all the people that we've met and like all the people we've played shows with, all our fans and everyone. I mean, I have a lot of respect for them, and I mean we wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for them. So yeah, definitely shout out to friends and family and all our fans and all the other bands we've played with, and yeah, just everyone that's helped us on this journey.
Cool. Well, thank you very much, Ben. It's been a pleasure.
Of course.
We'll see you around.
All right. Thank you so much. I'll see you.
Thank you so much, Ben, for coming on the show. Always a pleasure. Here is their latest single from Hot Stepmom called Cocoon.
The days that I sleep through, wrapped up in my cocoon. Love the things I outgrew. Fresh warm wings, a new view. Stained glass that
Looking back on 2024, what a great year for the local music scene. I may be a bit biased. It was quite literally my first year really being involved in the scene. A lot of great shows, a lot of great albums and singles released. I had the opportunity to meet a lot of really cool bands. Some of the standouts to me, you heard me talk about it with Ben. The Hot Stepmom release show at the Spanish Ballroom back in March. Hands down, the greatest show of the year. Everybody just put on an amazing performance. Manic Pixie Dreamboat, Rat Utopia Experiment, Stargazy Pie, Hot Stepmom. Killer lineup. All 4 bands put on amazing shows. The Spanish Ballroom is a beautiful, beautiful venue. Really good sound, too. Another time with Rat Utopia and Hot Stepmom was at PLU in, when was that, May? Yeah, May 11th. It was on Red Square at PLU, outdoor show. Just a really short thing. It was free. Both bands put on an amazing set. Art on the Ave was a lot of fun on 6th Avenue. Really looking forward to seeing that again this year, going to that again. Real Art had a stage that had bands playing the entire day. There was Velvet, Milk Crate, Static, Hot Stepmom, Morning Glory, Stargazy Pie, Meldrop. Outdoors, again, free. Just a really fun festival, kind of street fair show. Seeing Kapala was a lot of fun. I saw them 3 times. Once was a Halloween show where they did a Limp Bizkit tribute, their entire set. That was a lot of fun. That whole show was cool. Hot Stepmom did a No Doubt set. RC Cars on Mars was there. They did an original set, but they were all dressed up in NASA and astronaut suits, which I thought was their normal gimmick. Turns out it was just for Halloween. Regardless, that was a lot of fun. Another time at Real Art, I saw a band from Denver called Minka. They were wild. A lot of fun. South Sound Music Fest. I talked about it last week. That was a lot of fun. There was the Dead Air Hardcore Fest back in August or July at Real Art. I went to day 1 of that, saw a ton of great bands. But this last show, on December 27th at Real Art, last show of the year for me, last show of the year for, I think, all the bands that played. Stargazy Pie headlined, Hot Stepmom, No Nerve, Stereo Plague, Pregnant Dad. Such a great show. It really felt like the perfect way to wrap up a year in local music. Hanging out with the homies, PSR, Rabbit Hutch, William, hanging out with the bands. It was a lot of fun. Such a great show. Really looking forward to hitting up more shows, seeing these bands, seeing other bands. So here's to 2025 being another great year in shows. Let's go. Let's kick off this new year with some more new music. Coming up soon. Actually, right now. It's already out. By the time you hear this, Shanked, local band, their album Tacoma Power Violence, it dropped on the 3rd. Go check that out. Again, the homies from Portland, Shell Shock, they put out a single in December. They've got another single coming on January 12th. They've got a full-ass EP coming soon. Really pumped for that. Great band. Honestly, one of my top bands in the scene. Seattle band Dead Sonics have a new-ish single coming out on the 16th of January. I guess it's a re-recording of some earlier songs. The songs are Heavy Heads and ELE. If you've never heard these guys, they are... I guess the only way I can say is they are Raging Against the Machine in 2024, but sounding like a completely original, cool punk rock, hip hop, hardcore band. I'm excited for this new single. Sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. If I'm missing anything, don't be afraid to hit me up. There are so many bands out there in Tacoma, Seattle, Portland. There are just so many bands and so much music happening all the time. I can't possibly keep my attention on all of it. If I missed anything, if there's something new, something cool happening, and you want me to know about it, hit me up. Send me a DM, send me an email, whatever. I'm always happy to hear new music recommendations, hear about new bands, what have you. Also, if you just want to just hit me up for any reason, just to say, hey, I like the show. Hey, your show sucks. Whatever. Hit me up. Okay, what is your name and what do you do?
Hi, so I'm Dalton Higley. Dalton Higley from the band Rust and Wade. I make music for the band Rust and Wade. I put together the South Sound Music Festival just because I wanted to do it. There's not much motive behind it other than I thought it was a cool idea. And I just wanted to bring local musicians and the community of music together. Other than that, there's, not much motive behind it.
Okay, fair enough. What does punk mean to you?
Punk means to me, it's kind of a foundation on influence behind music. That's what it means to me. I know when I was growing up learning how to play music, punk was kind of one of the first genres of music I would learn, like on the drums, on guitar. It's a starting point for me, at least, but it's in the blood forever, I guess.
Before I get out of here, I want to thank everybody who helped make Grit City Punk happen. Regan Barger, the crew at Real Art Tacoma, Puget Scene Reports, the Rat Utopia Experiment, and Milk Crate for letting me use their music, Stargazy Pie and Hot Stepmom, my amazing wife for her infinite patience and support of all my wild ideas and projects, my kids for tagging along with me to concerts and always talking about and learning about music, and thank you everybody that is listening. Subscribe to the podcast, follow Grit City Punk on Instagram. Also, check out my YouTube channel, UGTV. I post videos from all the shows I go to. There is a companion playlist on Apple and Spotify featuring a ton of music from Northwest bands. You can find all those links in the show notes. Until next time, remember, go to concerts and stay for all the bands. Don't just watch one band and then leave. That's lame. Don't be lame. Go to concerts, buy merch, engage with the scene online and in real life, support the music you love, and share it with all your friends. One last thing. I want to play a song for you from a band that is near and dear to me called Tongues. They are from Seattle. This is off their EP that came out earlier in 2024. They've got a brand new album they're working on, set to drop maybe spring or so. Definitely keep your eye on them. Awesome band. This song is called Spit.
This has been a Jiggle Down Productions production.
Between a life and a life worth living, and bodies
Okay, now that's going to end the recording. Can I get you to say Grit City Punk? Like, this is Grit City Punk or something like that for the intro for the show.
Can I do it in like in a voice?
You could do whatever you want.
Okay. This is Grit City Punk.
I'll take it.
Awesome.